And as you can see, we handle multiple authors, so I'll go to the View Edit page. There's an Add Authors form, Edit Authors form. When you add an author, this is an important thing. Oftentimes we have co-authors at our institution. So if I want to add an author who's in my institution, I would do a lookup here by typing in their last name and selecting that person from the list of last names. So this is important because in some reporting contexts you don't want to double count publications. And so when you add an author who's, in your case, a faculty member at Wagner, there's still only one copy of the reference. There's just two different authors are attached to it. Both authors can then actually edit the reference. We assume that if you can write the article together, you can probably manage the citation together. If your co-author is not a member of your institution, then you would just put in the first and last name here. There's also full text upload, so you can upload full text, so just new entry. You can put in a URL or you can upload a file, and then that data is available. I'm hearing a bird in the background. Would that be Ian? Do you have a bird there?
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm just gonna. I'm just. Oh, okay. No, that's okay. I was gonna mute it, but I'm not sure which it is, and so we'll see. No. You should stay on. I can mute you. You're actually. It looks like you're connected by your microphone now, Kathy, not your phone. But at least that's what GoToWebinar. Are you there? Nope. We lost her. Kathy, you'll have to either dial back in or you could turn on your microphone. We can see how that works. So, I'm sorry. It wasn't that distracting. I was just going to mute you, but anyway, hopefully she'll call back in. Okay, so I did full text upload, so we got that data there. And you can also enter an abstract if you want. It's just a text field, so you can enter an abstract. So I'll just for, I mean, you sort of got the big picture now. I'll just show you what it looks like for chapters. Obviously, a chapter has different input fields. So you've got editors of the book. So we got fields for editors, and then we've got publisher information as opposed to volume and issue number. But otherwise, the data remains the same. So each of these different types of publications has its own input form because there's different data being requested. Presentations, we break down presentations into conferences, so these would be conference presentations, and then lectures and seminars. Lectures and seminars, there might be workshops, invited lectures, that sort of thing. Conferences, as you know, sort of, something organized by a professional organization. And I'll show you the, I'll just take this one, for example. Types of presentations, we have a whole list of different types of presentations so that you can sort of make it a little bit more specific in terms of what you're actually doing there. Let's see, we also have media interviews listed here. You back, Kathy? Yeah, apparently GoToMeeting was telling me the wrong thing, and so I apologize for that. So media interviews, sometimes we get interviewed for, our supposed expertise on subjects. So, creative expressions for you guys here in School of Business. I kind of doubt that y'all are reporting at least professional activities as artists. You never know, but grants, however, is another category. So Mentor does track the amounts of the grants and the dates of the grants. So if I were to add a new grant, you can see, grant title, the source, the date of application, etc. So again, standard sort of information. Academic honors, so if you have a fellowship, you get an award, a teaching award, anything like that, you can report it here. It's fairly basic information. Research in progress, this is, I didn't put in any, I'm sorry, no, I was thinking of research areas. Research in progress, some institutions ask faculty to report projects that they're working on but haven't developed yet into any sort of publication. So you can list that here, and again, it's pretty generic, just a kind of title summary and so forth. So it's kind of up to your institutional policy whether you report those items. And then research areas, these are just keywords, and again, these are indexed by the server, so they become searchable. So Mentor will return in the search the names of individuals if they match on the keywords. So I will show you that right now since we're just talking about search. So if I search for genetics, for instance, because I've done a little bit of work with genetics. You can see here, nobody showed up with research areas as genetics, but you can see here a number of publications. It's highlighting genetics either in the keywords or in the titles. So it forms a nice database for faculty to use if you want to find people working in a particular area. The PR people at your institution, if they get a call from a newspaper reporter or somebody, a local TV station, asking, do you have somebody to comment on whatever today's hot topic is, then they can do a quick search and find people that way as well. So we covered scholarship. We'll go to service next. We break service down into professional service, community service, institutional and committee service. I'll talk about that distinction in a minute, and then administrative service. So professional service, this is service that you do relative to your own expertise. So Mike, I know you're a CPA, so you may do work with working with people on completing their taxes or giving tax advice and consulting with companies. If you're a member of a professional organization, I'm actually a bioethicist, so I serve on some ethics committees and so forth. Community service would be service that you do, in the surrounding community. And of course, for you guys on Staten Island, that surrounding community can be quite large. But it may or may not involve your expertise. So, for instance, I serve as a trail steward, so in a local land trust. So, but institutions typically like to track that information. They like to sort of gauge the impact that they have on the community, however they've defined that. All right, so institutional and committee service. These both pertain to service that you do at Wagner College or at your institution. I'll start with committee service. Mentor has in it a system to track committee service, and so it's part of what we call our org tree. So the org tree, you start with the president's office, and then you have your school, and then you have your department, and so forth. And one of the items that can be on that org tree is a committee. And so a system administrator can populate committees with rosters of individuals serving on those committees. So these might be standing committees of the faculty. They might be special ad hoc committees. It depends on how much work that central person wants to do in tracking all of that information. If that committee information is tracked centrally in Mentor, you don't need to enter it because it's already here. So Mentor reports that, and you'll see that on your annual reports. That committee service is automatically input for you, or is input by somebody else for you. For any other service that is not handled centrally, so it might be ad hoc committees, or if nobody's tracking standing committee service, then you would use institutional service. And this can be really anything, so I'll click the Add New, and you can see we do report all the committee service just so you don't duplicate it. But the title of the service, a descriptive summary, start date, end date if applicable, keywords, scope of service, and so forth. So pretty basic information. So this could be anything from a standing committee to a search committee, a special project you work on for the chair, who knows what it happens to be. And then we have administrative service. I don't have any listed here, but if you're a program director, if you are, a chair, department chair, or any sort of formal administrative function, you can add that here. And again, a pretty basic input form. So title and descriptive summary and dates. Dates are obviously important because the annual reporting functions, the CV doesn't use dates, but the annual reports obviously take out a time frame. So the start dates and end dates are necessary for those queries to be able to pull in the right data. So let's go back to reports page. I showed you a CV. Let's just pick on the annual academic year report. And so there's me again. So some basic information about the individual, and then here's the course data. If there were files, if I check this box, it'll show them. I don't think I have any files uploaded here. So course releases, advisees section. If I had any data in those sections, additional academic work with students or those sorts of things, they would appear here. I don't have data, so they don't show up. Publications, presentations, you can see here this is showing the metadata, any of the notes that you might have put in, because this is would be used in the context of an annual review or something like that. Service, we got the committee service, and you can see it's pulling out service that's relevant within the dates. Institutional service, professional service, community service, and so on. So it's picking out whatever meets its date criteria. The academic year is a setting that I'll work with Don to set up the academic years. I don't know how you define your academic years, whether it's July 1 to June 30th or September 1, etc. But it takes that time frame. That's a system setting. The annual calendar year is simply a calendar year, January 1 to December 31st. So it just takes a different slice of time. These reports, they all have a print to PDF on them, so those you can always print this out. It will print out the content without all of the navigation when it prints to PDF. There's also a 3-year report. It takes the past 3 calendar years. So you can see it's a little slower to load because it's got to load more data. So it's taking the past 3 calendar years, but it also gives you dates that you can set, so you can take any arbitrary date range that you want to generate the report. And as you can see, it's just putting out more data. As you can see. Excuse me, I need a drink. Any questions so far?